My name is Ilan Oshri. I'm from Loughborough University. I'm acting as the Director of the Centre for Global Sourcing and Services at Loughborough University.
Fantastic. Ilan, what is your definition of innovation?
Well, innovation is broadly defined as anything which is new to the organization. In the context of outsourcing, we need to look at it slightly differently and consider those activities that are not just new, but they are actually introduced by the supplier beyond what the contract has captured. So anything which is beyond what the contract has captured will be considered to be as innovation.
What do you see as the main inhibitor of innovation?
The main inhibitor of innovation in many of the cases we've looked into is the cultural fit between the supplier and the client. There is a great need that the culture from both sides will be tuned around the need to make or to introduce change and to introduce innovation. Therefore, the parties should be accommodating innovation on a regular basis, which means that activities concerning innovations will be taken seriously by both sides, and much of that is embedded in the culture of both organizations.
What's your #1 tip for fostering innovation in an outsourcing relationship?
I would think that when the client firm is selecting a supplier, one of the areas that they need to look very carefully into whether there is a cultural fit between the parties. And with that, once they have identified the cultural fit between the parties, then ensure that they will capture the opportunities for innovation in the outsourcing contract to ensure that those placeholders where the discussions, the initiatives will come through will be actually accommodated. It is very important that the companies will pay attention to creating those opportunities and not just hoping that they will emerge over time.
And what is your favourite example of innovation in outsourcing?
Well, the most interesting case that I've looked into is the case between IBM and Novartis, where IBM innovated for Novartis their supply chain system to deliver anti-malaria medication in rural areas in Africa. That's an excellent example of how IBM and Novartis created the opportunities to innovate and followed up on that, not necessarily in a formal way, in fact it was completely informal way, but the opportunity emerged by IBM willing to take the risk of engaging in such a massive project, putting in teams of students to think about the solution and delivering the solution throughout by thinking about out-of-the-box ideas. This is an excellent example and it is in the public domain, so I recommend people who are taking interest in innovation to look into that and see what can facilitate innovation in outsourcing settings.